Hello everybody, welcome to the aoe2 AI scripting tutorial number 12, mathematical operations. I did state that we would look at goals as variables, but mathematical operations encompasses this in a more global manner, also including strategic numbers. We will start with the up-modify commands. There are several up-modify commands. We will study up-modify goal, up-modify SM. It's also applicable what we're going to see in the next slides, but we will not study these commands specifically for up-modify escrow and up-modify flag. The up-modify command syntax structure. All up-modifies follow the same syntax. You've got an up-modify command, an operand 1, a math operation, and an operand 2. The result of this command is stored in operand 1. The math op consists of a prefix, we have seen in a previous tutorial videos, constant, strategic number or goal, together with a mathematical calculation. Both the original operand 1 and operand 2 can be or is used in this mathematical calculation. We will look at an example immediately. Example 1. Strategic number camp maximum distance. This strategic number sets the maximum distance that lumber camps and mining camps may be placed from your home town center. We know that the default strategic number for camp maximum distance is 25 when we look in the appropriate lists. Now, we want to increase the distance with every camp build by 2. Now, I'm not saying this is intelligent or good coding. These examples are just examples to study the syntax and the workings of the code. So we've got a def rule here, can build lumber camp, to see that we got the resources and the builder and the tech tree prerequisites to build a lumber camp. Also the space. The drop site minimum distance for wood is greater than 3, meaning that villagers have to travel more than 3 squares to chop their wood. This said, it's not entirely correct, as the lumber camp is already 1 tile, because it's a 2 times 2. The distance, I think, is calculated from the middle of the lumber camp, not the edge, but that might be something interesting to look at in the future or by testing it. Resource found wood, that means you found a forest with a clump of minimum 8 trees. Why do I say 8 trees? Because there is somewhere a strategic number that determines how many trees you need for it to trigger that it analyzes this clump of trees as a forest. Then you build a lumber camp, as we know. Oops, sorry. And when you do this action, it will also do this action, namely we modify the strategic number, SN camp maximum distance. 2 is a constant, so what we want is the 25, which is operand number 1, add 2 to that, because the math op c colon plus means add the constant value of the second operand to the first operand, and then the new operand 1 is 27. So 25 plus 2 equals 27, and 27 is stored in camp maximum distance. Now every lumber camp it builds, it will add 2 to SN camp maximum distance, meaning with the second lumber camp it will build, it will become 27. If it builds a mining camp, it will become 29, and so on. This can be coded, for instance, in the philosophy of, as the game progresses, your AI needs to look further and further for resources. Again, this is an example. There are better ways of programming these distances. This is just to explain how the commands work. Example number 2. The example number 2 comes out of tutorial video number 11. If you remember, we kind of created a sit rep where it tells us my military population, the largest enemy military population, the sum of all ally military population, and the sum of enemy military population. Now, to calculate the sum of ally military population, we needed the population of all the allies, but this sum doesn't count our own military population, so we had to add that to the goal. So instead of a strategic number we have here as operand number 1, we have the goal where all the ally military population is in except for our own. We want to add our own military population. This is stored in the goal my military. That's why instead of its prefix C here, as you know, it's prefix G to say we want the value inside the goal, and we add this to operand number 1. So before this rule, goal sum ally military contains the military population without our military. After this rule, or after this action, this goal contains the ally military population with our military. So when we chat it out here, some ally military, it contains our military population with all the allies' military population. The importance here is we've got the same math operation with a different prefix. Also, we've got a goal here into a goal. It doesn't matter what the first operand is. It can be a goal or strategic number. The second operand can be a constant, a goal, or a strategic number. So you can really play with this. The first operand can be a strategic number, while the second one can be a goal. The first one can be a goal, while the second one you want to do a mathematical operation with a strategic number. It all goes. Math operations. To see what the possibilities are of math operations, we see here we use this C colon plus, add the constant value of the second operand to the first operand. We also use DG colon plus, add the goal value of the second operand to the first operand. And as we know, we can find this on Leaf's website. In parameters, math ops, we get here all the mathematical operations, so you can start looking at these. What are the possibilities and what are the ideas? For example 3, we will make it slightly more complicated, again just by way of an example. Again, because I know this, I get comments, you can program that differently, that's bad programming, you shouldn't program the castle placements like that and stuff like this, but this is by way of an example to demonstrate the up-modify commands. So this is a situation. You want to build the first castle 10 tiles forward from your home base. The second castle you want to build 20 tiles forward, etc. How to build this number of tiles forward is for a future video. Again, it's a little sneak peek. But what we want to concentrate on is how to get the number 10, 20, 30, etc. based on the facts that we got. So if we've got 0 castles, and this can be forgotten in mathematical logic, is if you've got 0 castles, we need the number 10. If we've got 1 castles, we need the number 20, and stuff like that. We want an extra limitation, meaning we don't want any castles being built further than the strategic number maximum town size. Hypothetically, in this example, we have set our maximum town size to 40, and about the maximum town size, a hint tip, this is usually dynamic and is played with by the AI according to certain parameters like your age, your army, map size, strategy, and all that kind of stuff. You might have heard about town size attack, TSA. That's a dynamic way of attacking using strategic number maximum town size, as you extend your maximum town size to encompass enemy buildings, so your defensive soldiers automatically go to attack them. This is another way of attacking your enemy. We only have seen one way until now, the basic way, which isn't used rarely ever, the attack now command. Professional scripters don't use this command, or rarely use this command. They use a TSA or DUC to attack. Some scripters use attack groups as well. I'm just throwing that in, maybe that gives some ideas for you to research. Anyway, I'm getting off subject here, sorry about that. We don't want the castles to be built further than our maximum town size. So we have to declare some constants: castle placement, number of castles, and we set our strategic number maximum town size to 40. You could maybe put a disable self in this once it's done it. Doesn't have to keep repeating it. Def rule: can build castle. I only want to make a calculation and build a castle when I can, obviously. So get facts, remember from last videos, building type count, castle number of castles. You could think of putting here a total, but it doesn't change it a lot, because usually you don't have that much stone that you can build 2 castles at the same time, but you have to think about that in your own programming. Maybe total is better. You put the number of castles in the goal number of castles. Now you want the formula, because this is what is logically and mathematically forgotten. If you've got no castles, it needs to build 10 tiles forward. It's not because you got no castles that you build 0 tiles forward. This is sometimes forgotten because it's not just number of castles times 10, because then you don't get this results. It's 10 because you got the original 10 plus castles times 10, which means if you got 0 castles it will be 10. 1 castle is 10 plus 1 times 10 is 10, that's 20. 2 castles is 10 plus 2 times 10 is 20, is 30. This can be rewritten in our head because we want it to be programmed as easy as possible with the mathematical rules. I suppose everybody saw this at school. This you can rewrite as this, because first we want to work out 10 times castles, and then we add the 10 on at the end, which gives us our results. So we put the number 10 as a constant in goal castle placement. We look for the number of castles which we got in this fact goal number of castles. We put here, and we want to multiply that with the number 10, which is the first operand. So 10 times number of castles, and the result of that is stored in castle placement after this line is executed. You come to this line, and the goal is then raised with another 10 at the end. This is this 10 at the end. But that's not the only thing. We don't want to build further than the maximum town size, so we want the minimum of these two, meaning the result of castle placement and the maximum town size, the minimum of these two. So if, for instance, castle placement is 30 and maximum town size is 40, it will choose 30. If castle placement is 50 and maximum town size is 40, it will put 40 into the operand number 1 here. So after this fact, in this goal, you've got the number 40. To put the castle this number of places forward, we've got these commands here. We have to define the placement location and then execute the placement location. These commands we will see in a future video, but I've already put them here as a sneak peek, and maybe it gives you ideas to research or experiment yourself. I hope this was all clear and that you can start programming with up modifier mathematical operations. I haven't had chance yet to answer all the comments and questions on the channel yet. I thank you for the viewers for giving comments and asking questions. I have been a bit busy with the aoe2 championship, the AI Scripters Championship organized by Aleph. As my AI Bambi is up against some extremely difficult AIs. Okay, that will be all. Thank you for watching this video. Keep well in these times. and hopefully see you next video. Bye.